this morning.
We have confirmed what were the first two fatalities from this storm here in Wilmington. A mother and her child, I was told by a relative that it was a very young child, died when this massive tree came down on that small red brick house early this morning and split it open.
South Carolina is also feeling it. Governor Henry McMaster.
We're liable to have bridges that are impassable, roads that are washed out, flash floods, maybe even landslides in the mountains. Do not drive around the barricades. These are the same warnings and urgings we've been doing throughout. Be careful, be smart.
The White House says that President Trump will travel to the hurricane-stricken Carolinas sometime next week. North Carolina officials, meanwhile, say parts of that state could experience once-in-a-millennia flooding from Florence. Hurricane Florence is drifting slowly towards South Carolina, and correspondent Clayton Neville says people are being told to stay put.
Please stay sheltered in place. Do not go out in this storm.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper warning of the dangers of Florence. Water rescues underway in the town of New Bern, and the storm moves south at less than 10 miles per hour. This man lives on Myrtle Beach and says the slow, lingering storm is concerning.
It's kind of different because it's really slow. You know, we don't know how the damage is going to be.
First responders in Myrtle Beach say they've reached a point where they can't respond to calls until things calm down. Clayton Neville, Myrtle Beach.
The National Hurricane Center says Florence is forecast to keep moving farther inland across the Carolinas through the weekend before turning toward the central Appalachian Mountains sometime early next week. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 8, the S&P up 1. I'm Mike Moss.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Why isn't a burger cheaper when you ask for no onions? I don't want them, so shouldn't you deduct the price of the onions, right? Otherwise, I'm paying for the onions, but I'm not receiving any onions.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, equal housing insurer.
401k.
There's a time and a place for black and white, like when you're learning to play piano, or when you want a big two-toned cookie, or when shopping for a pet zebra. But if you want to attract customers, there's no room for black and white. So go to Staples. Staples specializes in bold, hard-to-miss color printing. And now at Staples, get 20% back in rewards on color printing, from banners to brochures and copies to presentations. Print more color, save more money at Staples.
In-store only. Ends 11/10/18. Restrictions apply. See store associate or staples.com/20 back for details.
A former Trump campaign chairman has made a plea deal to cooperate with the Russia investigation.
Paul Manafort will cooperate with Robert Mueller's investigation, coupled with a plea deal to 2 lesser counts of conspiracy. Even with his previous conviction on 8 counts in Virginia, the deal and cooperation would likely lead to a lesser sentence. The charges have stemmed from work he did as a consultant and lobbyist before he became the Trump campaign chairman. And there's no indication what Manafort might provide to the special counsel. Paul Manafort's previous steadfast refusal to cooperate with Mueller kept him in President Trump's good graces. That led to speculation, perhaps in Manafort himself, that the president would pardon him. Bob Costantini, the Federal Courthouse, Washington.
U.S. retail sales barely rose in August as shoppers spent less on cars, furniture, and clothing. Commerce Department says the value of purchases ticked up just 0.1%. That's the smallest increase in 6 months after a robust gain in July. Sluggish increase partly reflects falling prices. I'm Mike Moss.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
I'm the sales director.
Kubota's L2501 DT packs powerful performance into one easy-to-operate compact tractor. Designed for all-day operator comfort and easy use of implements, the L2501 DT makes mowing, digging, hauling, and lifting quick and simple. Now get payments as low as $135 a month with 0% APR financing for 84 months. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
Hey Dave, let's tune into the Simply Senior radio show on KTalk this Saturday. It's at 2 p.m. and it actually sounds really interesting, and maybe we can learn something.
I love you, Barb, but I think I'll pass. Besides, it sounds more like geezer radio. I bet it's all about soft foods and spray-on hair. How old do you think I am?
Okay, Dave, let me ask you in a different way. Do you want to listen to a radio show for people who are smarter, wiser, and have more life experiences than everyone else? Yes or no?
On second thought, I'm in.
If you want to join us for the Simply Senior Radio Show, tune into KTalk at 1640 AM every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. See you there, Slugger.
The Simply Senior Radio Show is a radio program for those people who are a little bit smarter, a little bit wiser, and have a ton more experience than anyone else.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, welcome to Prepper Talk Radio. Radio for the ready-minded.
Bless you.
Had to cough. I'm like, ooh, right at the end of that. Radio for the ready-minded. You guys are listening to KTalk AM 1640. And as usual, this is Scott and Shane with the funnest show on the radio.
Well, that's maybe overgeneralizing, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's the best topic.
I think so.
Preparedness.
Absolutely. No question about that.
Pop on the mic here. I apologize. Preparedness, survival, thinking with your brain, and making logical steps to better prepare yourself in case of disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, radio for the ready-minded.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a mindset that takes getting used to.
It is.
Especially in our day and age now when, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this delicately, where a lot of people like to be taken care of, right?
Yeah.
And when it's really up to ourselves to take care of ourselves.
A lot of people think they have a right to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not your right.
They think that's what the government's role is. We're not getting. This is not our topic for today, so please don't call in.
Yeah, don't call in yet. We've got other topics we're going to jump into, but
yeah, they think it's somebody else's responsibility to take care of us. And I understand that when you're a child, right? You can lean on your parents that way. But my mindset has always been, since I turned, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, whatever, 15, looking forward to get my driver's license and being independent. And I think my kids have been very much that way too.
Yep.
In that I want to move out, I want to get my driver's license, I want to be my own person, make my own decisions. And that's really what Radio for the Ready-Minded is for. Exactly. And shout out to my daughter and her friends who listen. They listen to the podcast, and I just found this out yesterday, so thanks for listening.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they think we're funny.
Well, it's because we're crazy old guys, right? We're dads.
There we go.
And then we got lots of dad jokes.
They do like my dad jokes.
There you go.
I am constantly doing little dad isms.
Well, not to change topics too bad, but thinking of what's going on in the world right now, and thinking of dad jokes, I'm wondering how Progressive's faring with the whole hurricane flow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's like, on one hand, Flo's destroying things, but on the other hand, Flo's going to take care of things.
Okay, how's she taking care of things?
Well, because that's their character on their commercials is Flo.
Oh, I see. Okay.
See? Dad jokes.
There you go. Okay.
I got these for days.
I was slow.
But yeah, okay, so North Carolina, all our friends out on the East Coast, like, how are they doing? I mean, the nice thing is Florence has dropped to a level 1. The bad thing is it's stalled out, and now she's just dumping rain and wind.
So as I understand, a lot of people have evacuated the area. I haven't really been watching too closely what's going on out there, but and that's part of our topic today.
Yes.
Not to get into too prematurely into this, but we're talking about vehicles.
Utilizing your vehicle in an emergency.
When SHTF, and really not even that. For me, I'm an everyday preparedness guy.
Yep.
I'm not just preparing for SHTF for the end of the world as we know it.
I'm only a prepper on
disaster.
Sundays.
Exactly. I'm not just a prepper I'm not just a Sunday weekend prepper, right? I'm an everyday prepper. It's been my lifestyle for a lot of years. That's why I'm have the nickname kind of prepared guy.
Yeah.
And
that's why we like the term ready-minded more than we like the term preppers. Even though it's Prepper Talk Radio, we're evolving, and hopefully you're evolving too. You should be thinking about better ways to be smarter with what you have, to utilize the tools around you, tools that are in plain sight that maybe are just there that are ready to be used, ready to be repurposed.
And I think that's a perfect description for the automobile, for a car, for a truck, for an SUV, whatever you have. And so that's the topic we want to get into today. is especially, thinking about, of course, it is National Preparedness Month.
That it is.
We want to bring that out again for what it's worth. Our president and our administration came out saying, okay, we're going to declare this National Preparedness Month, September, from now on. So, I think that's a good thing. But
it's been this for you for a while.
Has it been? I thought it was Trump that actually came out and said, we're declaring September National Preparedness Month.
I wonder if he's making a new declaration,
maybe.
Because in the industry September is National Preparedness Month.
Okay.
And it's been that way for probably a good 6 years.
Okay, so maybe
probably longer than that, but that's kind of as long as I've been aware of it, because our good friends over at Emergency Essentials would start sending me stuff every September. It's Preparedness Month.
No, that's true. That's true. They have, and I did get their mailer just in the past couple of weeks.
Yep.
National Preparedness Month, and I think it's a great reminder. And I think we tend to take our junk mail, right, and it goes right in the recycle bin for me for the most part.
My wife always knows to check before she chucks when it comes to Emergency Essentials.
Oh, yeah, well, absolutely. That's something that always catches my eye, and I set that aside, and I think, and I've been, I'm always shopping. I really am. I'm always out there looking, and just seeing what's going on, what the prices are like, whether I need something or not. My needs never end, right? And I'm doing the air quotes. My needs never end. So I'm constantly looking, constantly monitoring and seeing what's going on out there, more locally than nationally.
Yep.
And I see right now is a really good time to get prepared.
Absolutely.
For the bargains, for the sales that are out there, because, like we've mentioned in other shows, because things have been so good. I mean, really, in the economy, prices have gone down. These retail stores
slowed. Production stays the same, and so every time there's no disasters for a while, it's great because you can get things at a discount. But in a week to 2 weeks, as the people start stockpiling up again because they've had a disaster, those areas that have been affected, like Hawaii, North Carolina, surrounding areas. I mean, there's 9 hurricanes or something like that crazy going on right now.
Yeah, brewing.
Yeah, all over the entire ocean. Like, it's like, hey, if one hasn't hit your area, please hold. We'll get one in right away.
It kind of looks like the movie Day After Tomorrow.
There you go.
One of my favorites. My wife hates watching those kind of disaster movies. She absolutely hates them.
Awesome.
Like Dante's Peak or Titanic. She just cannot watch those. And me, I just eat them up. I just love them. So it's kind of what it looks like. You got all these storms spread out across the globe. That who knows what they're going to do, right? But you have to be watching. You have to be looking. Your eyes have to be open, and you have to be paying attention and having at least the desire to be prepared, right?
And take advantage of the opportunity when the opportunity presents itself.
If you're
in a position that you
absolutely.
Can. It's like if you can't afford to prep, pick up a part-time job and spend some time at the library learning. Those are some great ways you can do it on the cheap. Do something to better off your situation and take care of your family.
Yeah, stop playing your video games. Slow down. Don't play as many video game hours.
We're not requiring you to go cold turkey on anything.
Exactly.
But stop smoking today, or change lifestyle, like a little bit. Adapt a little bit.
Yeah, since you're listening to the show, congratulations. That's great. But don't stop here. There's a lot of other people out there who honestly are better than we are. And they have a lot of great advice, and they're okay. Scott's kind of grimacing there.
You're awesome. I don't know what you're talking about, but you're awesome.
But I would say there's a lot of good.
Love our show.
Pick a topic and learn about it.
Yeah.
I did see an article the other day about how there's so much information at our fingertips, yet there are fewer people who are self-educating themselves. And there's a term, and I forget what that word is. Because it was new to me. I hadn't heard before, but basically self-educating, teaching themselves. And everything is so easily at our tips. We can download it from the Matrix, quickly. I mean, you can find some instructors who give you the meat and no fluff, and it just comes straight at you, right into your brain. And that's what I spend a lot of time when I'm driving learning those types of subjects. And
I think the challenge, though, is there's so much information. There's also a lot of disinformation. Not intentionally bad, but it's just not.
It's not good enough. It's not entirely correct. It's, and I do see that all too often, and I cringe and I change the channel.
And that's why we try to be more scrutinizing with what we bring to the table
for our guests and so forth.
Yeah.
And so there you have it. Spend some time educating yourself. Especially if you don't have the money, knowledge is power, and it can be the saving grace in an emergency and a disaster, not necessarily everything, the gear that you have.
Exactly.
which is expensive.
So with that, let's
talk about gear.
Let's jump into our cars.
Okay.
Hop in, close the door, clunk clunk. Right, we're in. Now, I want you to think
Hurricane's coming. Let's get out of here.
Something